Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are focusing on what feels like, well, a really critical inflection point in the AI race, because Google has just released a new line of models that they're not just selling them, they are claiming these models fundamentally give users superpowers.
Right.
We're going deep on Gemini 3 Pro, which is sort of the brains of the operation, and its visual partner, Nano Banana.
For a while, the narrative felt like Google was just perpetually playing catch up.
Constantly.
But with this release, the conversation has just changed entirely. This is not an incremental update.
No.
It's a foundational shift in what these things can do. I mean, these models redefine the complexity of what you can just describe and generate in a single prompt.
So our mission for you today is threefold. First, we need to understand the strategic impact. What exactly are these models, and why are they claiming these superior benchmarks and this groundbreaking agentic behavior?
Right.
Second, we'll get into the most surprising feature, which is the ability to generate entire interactive applications, what they're calling vibe coding.
Yeah.
And third, we'll map out the easiest ways for you to access this power and, start building today.
So let's start with that central claim. Gemini 3 Pro is, by Google's own admission, and from what we're seeing in initial tests, the most intelligent model they have ever created.
Okay.
The sources all stress its deep multimodal understanding and, critically, its ability to execute advanced high-level reasoning across these really complex multi-step instructions.
We're moving beyond simple chat.
We are. We're moving into, depth of thought.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack that depth of thought, because that requires some serious technical muscle. What are the key specs that enable this huge capability jump?
Well, the first number that just jumps off the page is the context window.
Right.
Google claims Gemini 3 Pro beats every other model on the market by the largest benchmark margin we've seen yet, but that's almost secondary to the working memory.
So what are we talking about?
Typically, state-of-the-art models, they max out around, 256,000 tokens?
Yeah, that's been the standard. Gemini 3 Pro is launching with a massive 1 million token context window.
1 million tokens. I mean, that sounds huge, but what does that actually mean in practical terms for, a user or a developer?
Well, it changes the entire scale of analysis. I mean, to put 256K tokens in perspective, that's roughly a 200-page academic book.
Which is already impressive.
It's very impressive. But 1 million tokens, that lets the model process the equivalent of 4 large research reports, or an entire complex software repository, or a full year's worth of financial filings, all ingested and reasoned upon simultaneously in one prompt.
So this isn't just about preventing that, digital amnesia in a chat.
Not at all.
This is for enterprise-scale analysis. It just fundamentally lowers the barrier for businesses that need to analyze these huge internal data sets without, breaking them into tiny pieces.
Precisely. And that immense memory is absolutely crucial for the model's agentic operations.
The agentic part.
Which is really the heart of the innovation here. This model isn't just responding. It's designed to act as a sophisticated AI agent, planning and executing multi-step goals without you constantly having to intervene.
And this is where the evidence of that internal planning gets really fascinating. We saw examples from the Agent Development Kit, the ADK, that make the AI's thought process visible.
Yeah.
You can give it a really complex, kind of opaque goal like, find me specialized horse riding lessons in Toronto that fit my criteria, and the model shows you its thought signature.
The ADK is essentially the visualization layer that surfaces that signature.
So you can see it thinking.
You can see it thinking.
Yep.
It lets the developer see the model's internal decomposition of the problem. So instead of one general web search, the agent uses multi-step reasoning.
Okay, so what does that look like?
It'll first search for best horse riding schools, Toronto. Then it creates a new specific query to check if those schools are accessible by public transit. And then finally, it runs another search to verify the operational status of the stables.
So it's proactively gathering all the necessary context. It's anticipating the follow-up questions I haven't even had time to ask yet.
Exactly. It's moving from being a quick answer generator to a dedicated, thorough research assistant.
Right.
And this kind of detailed, high-level reasoning, it comes with a computational cost.
Sure.
So for developers using the API through the SDK's Python Go, JavaScript Google's introduced a new parameter to manage that. It's called thinking level.
They call it thinking level, which sounds great. But isn't that just a a fancy way of saying cost off computation? What are the actual trade-offs here?
That's a very fair strategic reading of it.
Yeah.
Yes, setting the thinking level controls the depth of reasoning, and therefore, it directly impacts your token usage and the latency.
So low is for simple stuff.
Right. If you set it to low, you're optimized for speed, lower cost on quick classification tasks. For example, quickly classifying an avocado and a zucchini, which, scientifically are both fruits.
Right.
The model can handle that quickly on a low setting.
But if the problem needs it to, like write code, execute the code, and then analyze the results, you have to turn that dial up.
You do.
Can you give us a complex, high-thinking example?
The perfect one is complex linguistic computation. We saw it tasked with calculating the Kincaid grade level.
Oh, the readability score.
Exactly, of Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. And that task requires 4 simultaneous steps. First, use Google search to get the text. Second, write and debug the Python code for the Kincaid formula.
Which is not trivial.
No. Third, it has to execute that word. And finally, present the derived grade level. That is high-level, multi-step reasoning that absolutely demands the high setting.
That shows off its text and code power. But the core differentiator for Gemini 3 Pro is really its multimodal analysis, right? It's not just text, it's images, data, video.
The video analysis capabilities are frankly stunning. Yeah, because they confirm the model is processing video frame by frame, understanding it visually without needing metadata or transcripts.
Right.
You can upload a raw video clip like a silent security video and ask it to summarize what's happening.
I saw this one spectacular demo that really illustrates that deep visual understanding. A user uploaded a single grainy image of themselves as a kid,
Oh, I saw this.
singing into a plastic microphone. Then they uploaded a huge hours-long home video file and just asked Gemini 3 Pro to find that exact moment.
And it did it
Yeah.
successfully. The model cross-referenced that static image against every single frame of the video, matching the clothing, the background, the lighting, and it returned the precise timestamp, 35 minutes and 3 seconds in.
Wow.
That ability to conduct deep visual searches within unindexed video, that's a huge advance for anyone dealing with large video archives.
And it handles quantitative data with the same multimodal power. We saw a great practical example of a user uploading raw sales data from a fruit stand, just a messy CSV file,
Right.
and asked Gemini 3 Pro to analyze the seasonal trends and return the results as a nicely formatted, fully designed HTML file.
And that's the key part. It performed the analysis and delivered the result as a runnable file.
In one go.
All in one interaction. No manual conversion, no data libraries needed on your end. And this leads us directly into what Google is calling the era of vibe coding.
Vibe coding, I love that term. It signals a move past generating static text or images and straight into generating functional, interactive software.
Yes.
Immersive visual layouts, complex tools, 3D simulators, all from a single descriptive prompt. The complexity is just immense now.
Absolutely. And these examples aren't just fun toys. They signal we're moving past static content generation and straight into dynamic, interactive application building as the new standard.
So like what? What's a good example?
Take dashboard creation. One prompt was used to generate a complex mortgage calculator dashboard, specifically for multi-unit investment properties.
And it wasn't just a spreadsheet.
No, it was a functional, interactive application, built using JavaScript and HTML, complete with graphical sliders for adjusting the vacancy rate, the interest rates.
So you could play with the numbers.
You could play with them, the calculations updated instantly, and then the model could generate a detailed, formal financial report based on the current settings, all from the same generated code.
And the simulator examples take this even further. We saw a fully functional, detailed water cycle simulation built with the 3JS library.
Where you can click through the stages.
Yeah, you click the arrows to move sequentially, evaporation, condensation, precipitation.
Or the physics-accurate N-body gravity simulator.
I saw that one.
You can just dynamically add planets or a rogue star or even a black hole and watch how Newtonian physics affects the orbits in real time. These are complex, self-contained apps built on demand.
And then you have the professional analysis tools, which combine that multimodal input with instant application generation. The Golf Swing Analyzer app is the perfect example. You upload a video of your swing, Gemini 3 Pro ingests it, does a frame-by-frame analysis, gives you a score like 78 out of 100.
It tells you how to get better.
Exactly. It gives you improvement tips and draws comparisons to pros like John Rahm.
And that complex application generation extends to visualizing complex concepts too, like the AI bubble simulator dashboard.
Right, which had things like Minsky cycles built in.
It did. It incorporated concepts like Minsky cycles and then delivered an AI-generated verdict on current market bubble risk. So it's synthesizing economic theory, coding a dashboard, and performing risk analysis all at once.
It's incredibly sophisticated reasoning.
Yeah.
However, we did find one small, persistent limitation,
We did.
specifically when it came to following precise instructions in writing.
That's right. We tasked the model with writing an SEO-optimized blog post of exactly 500 words.
Yeah.
It delivered 576 words. So while its high-level agentic reasoning is robust, models still struggle with precise word counts because they operate on tokens, not words.
Some minor known hitch.
It is, but it gives us a good segue.
Right. So we see the limits of deep reasoning applied to trivial token counting. A minor caveat. But generating a complex functional application needs two things: the reasoning and logic, which is Gemini 3 Pro, and sophisticated specific visual design.
And that's where the specialist comes in.
Exactly.
Let's pivot to the second model, Nano Banana.
Nano Banana.
Yes, it's a strange code name, perhaps a nod to some internal Google naming convention, but its function is crystal clear.
What is it?
It is the companion AI image model specializing entirely in creating high-quality professional infographics and specialized visualizations.
So Gemini 3 Pro codes the functional mortgage dashboard.
And Nano Banana designs the high-fidelity graphics and stylization that go into it. Its strength isn't just generating images, it's following detailed aesthetic instructions.
Like a specific style guide.
Precisely. We saw a request to generate an elegant graphic about the creator-brand sponsorship relationship. The prompt specified blue ink on a light graph paper background to look like an architectural sketch.
And it worked.
It nailed that very specific professional aesthetic.
And that level of aesthetic control is absolutely crucial when you start integrating these into automated production workflows.
This is where Nano Banana becomes a strategic asset. Developers are integrating it into node-based platforms like Kriya nodes to automate content creation at scale.
So you could build a template?
You can define a style, a specific corporate color palette and layout, and then you feed a block of newsletter text into the workflow and ask it to automatically generate, say, 6 different high-quality infographic options using that exact predefined style.
It solves that final mile problem of professional styling and consistency that general image models can struggle with.
And it handles sophisticated animated visuals, too. We saw its role in creating a power of 10 animation sequence.
Maybe in like zooming in.
Yeah, where it seamlessly generates the assets to zoom smoothly from a satellite view down to a single street or from the solar system down to a microscopic scale. It's the visual glue for complex moving data.
So this convergence is the key. Deep agentic reasoning from Gemini 3 Pro combined with specialized stylized visual creation from Nano Banana.
The output is no longer a text file or a generic image.
It's a fully operational, custom-designed tool.
Exactly.
So for listeners who want to jump in and start building their own mortgage calculators or gravity simulators, what are the easiest entry points right now?
The non-developer path is accessible immediately. First, there's Google AI Studio. That's still the dedicated playground for testing and exploring the API without heavy coding.
Okay.
Second, for everyday users, Gemini.google.com, the chatbot, is now largely powered by Gemini 3 Pro, even for free users.
And crucially, how do users get those interactive visual outputs, the vibe-coded projects we talked about?
Within that Gemini.google.com interface, you have to use the Canvas tool.
Oh, okay.
Activating Canvas tells the model that when you prompt it to build an interactive water cycle simulator, it should generate the functional, runnable application code and the visual layout, not just describe the steps.
And for people who are building serious, production-ready software.
Well, developers are already leveraging specialized platforms designed for this kind of agentic coding, like Cursor, and the Vibe Code app, which helps abstract away the API complexity and create mobile app wrappers efficiently.
One final strategic note on accessibility. Google has rolled out new personalization features with Gemini 3 Pro that should really enhance that agentic feel.
Yes, you now have personal context, which lets the model learn from your past chats to personalize future interactions.
And custom instructions.
And custom instructions, where you can set permanent parameters for how you want the model to behave or what perspective it should take. That's a key feature rolling out across the entire line.
So to summarize, the Gemini 3 line marks a truly significant strategic jump. It's not just speed. It's the ability to conduct high-level multimodal reasoning and act as an incredibly effective, self-directed coding agent.
Yeah, for generating these highly visual and interactive projects.
We are firmly in an era where you can just describe an entire functional custom application, and the AI agent will manage the deep analysis, the logical coding, and the specialized visuals for you in minutes.
It just changes the definition productivity.
Which leaves us with this final provocative thought for you to consider. Given that this new Gemini line provides the deep, frame-by-frame analysis with Gemini 3 Pro and the specialized visual output with Nano Banana, consider this. What complex multimodal process in your life, which currently requires hours of manual analysis, visualization, and maybe specialized coding, could you now automate into a single functional, self-contained application with one prompt?
Whether it's a personalized nutritional dashboard that analyzes uploaded food photos and generates a professional report, or a complex research tool that ingests an entire legal contract and generates a legally sound infographic summary, the tools are now available to build your ultimate customized co-creator.
We look forward to seeing what you build.